Hi, I'm Xilin. On behalf of the other editors, Drs. Chris Glass and Krishna Bista, I will introduce our book, The Experiences of International Faculty in Institutions of Higher Education, Enhancing Recruitment, Retention, and Integration of International Talents in this session. We came up with this topic as two of us were considered as international faculty. We often encounter academic culture and norms that may differ from the institutions where we received our terminal degrees. Therefore, with more and more international faculty mobility, we believe it is significant to share the voice of international talents, thus to enlighten the universities and policymakers to better recruit and retain these scholars.
First of all, we must understand the definition of international faculty. Who are international faculty? International faculty are generally defined as those who were foreign-born and also earned their undergraduate degrees in their home countries. International faculty often bring diversity, new perspectives, and skills to foreign universities, and they have become an important part of today's global academic environment. In addition to the benefits these talents will bring, they, however, face multiple challenges, such as obtaining the permanent residency, addressing cultural differences, and coping with loneliness. As international faculty have become an important group because they bring new insights to universities, some fundamental questions we should understand include: what does it mean to be an international faculty member? What are international faculty members' social, emotional, and academic experiences? What challenge do they experience, and what support do they need and receive? To answer those questions will help recruit and retain talents from this group. Therefore, in response to the growing need for recruitment and retention of international talent in higher education institutions globally, our book documents the experiences and contribution of international researchers and faculty from perspectives around recruitment, transition, integration, professional development, and the retention of schools from different countries. These texts will benefit researchers, academics, and educators with an interest in higher education, international and comparative education, and more specifically, those involved with faculty development programs. Our book will also support further discussion and reflection around multicultural education, international teaching and learning, and educational policy more broadly.
Our book includes 4 sections. The first section focuses on gender and identity in transactional context. 4 chapters were included in this section. The first chapter, Experiences of Black African International Faculty at American Higher Education Institutions, examined the experiences of Black African international faculty in the U.S. universities, focusing on these faculty groups' workplace experiences, promotion and tenure, as well as their contributions. The authors provide strategies that Black African faculty members in the U.S. institutions adapt to neutralize the effects of the negative experiences encountered, including strengthening and engagement and discussions with their African American counterparts, working in partnership to provide solutions to problems, solving professional and social support to each other, and the ability to come together and influence institutional policy to their benefits. The second chapter, Transnationalization of Asian Female Scholars in U.S. Higher Education Institutions, investigated how Asian female scholars have faced gendered academic transnationalization in their everyday lives and career. This chapter indicated that Asian female scholars have been underrepresented and suffer from inaccurate stereotypes of Asian immigrant women. Moreover, the mobility of foreign-born scholars have been gendered. The authors then noted that Asian female scholars have used multiple strategies to overcome barriers and negotiate their everyday lives and relations with family members, and their strategies will result in a transformation of identities through acculturation to the mainstream culture and society. Lastly, the authors suggested that more substantive resources and help from departments and institutions should be accessible to foreign-born faculty. In the next chapter, Asian women faculty in the transnational context, cases in the UAE, Liang investigated the overall teaching and social life experiences of Asian women faculty who work in the public schools in the UAE, specifically focusing on the strategies of balancing their work and life in this multicultural and cross-cultural context, and their plans and career expectations. Her study revealed that Asian women faculty in UAE face social barriers with their local colleagues, the solitude as women faculty, and a vague sense of job promotion in their career. As a result, schools must consider these issues to develop strategies that meet their emotional and professional needs. The final chapter of this section, Challenges and Potentials of International Faculty in U.S. Higher Education, Perspectives from Two Chinese Faculty, discuss the experiences and challenges faced by mid-career Chinese female faculty members. Even after being in this role for more than a decade, the authors indicated that these faculty members usually experience a sense of foreignness and still struggle to fit in. For instance, the mid-career Chinese female faculty members feel less power as subject matter experts in front of their students due to language or academic discourse, experiences in teaching in K-12 settings, and cultural understandings of American classroom or students. Therefore, they suggested that institutional support and culturally sensitive mentorship are needed. The next section, including 3 chapters, discusses social linguistic and cultural diversity in the global classroom. The first chapter of this section, Teaching Like You Do at Home or Like You Are in a Different Place, examined the teaching experiences of academic migrants in Thailand. The authors review that foreign-born faculty members face multiple challenges, such as a feeling of disconnect from Thai colleagues, a low base salary, student discipline challenges, and a range of language abilities. This chapter concluded that academic migrants were positioned between forces that invite them to both internationalize and adapt. Finally, they provided various practical suggestions for academics who are and plan to teach across borders. In the next chapter, Paradoxical Treatments of East Asian Women International Faculty Members Accented English in an Era of Internationalization of Higher Education, the author explored the complaints and resistance that East Asian women international faculty who are non-native English speakers receive from their undergraduate students who are native speakers of English. Her study particularly focused on how the complaints and resistance were related to their non-native English. This study discovered that students considered Asian accents as incomprehensible, unclear, and hindering their learning. However, East Asian women international faculty have made efforts to overcome their weaknesses in English and adapt to the teaching and international styles with which their students are familiar. The last chapter of this section, Values and Attitudes for Teaching International Graduate Student Populations, European Faculty Insights for Instructional Professional Development during European Higher Education Internationalization, discussed international program faculty members' perspectives on teaching international graduate students in Italy. These faculty members generally perceived positive attitudes towards international graduate students in their classes, and they valued the richness of cultural diversity and participation on campuses. However, they noted a lack of training and guidance for teaching internationally diverse students in English. Lastly, several recommendations for institutions, academic programs, and faculty developers were provided. The third section of this book focuses on employment equity in academic mobility and migration. 3 chapters were included. The first chapter, International Scholars in Academic Semi-Parentheses, a Sign of Research Excellence or a Remedy for Staff Shortages, looked at international scholars' role in European semi-parentheses. The authors discussed factors that were associated with a higher share of these foreign-born faculty members. Their study revealed that academic migrants, especially in Poland, are employed more often by universities with lower academic prestige and located outside the national academic centers.
Next, Through Uchi or Soto,
International and Foreign Faculty Employment at Japanese Universities, Green provided an overview of the Japanese university system and how the growing number of foreign-born faculty members fit within the system. His study indicated that these foreign scholars face issues such as language integration and work-life balance. While efforts have been made to attract and retain foreign academics working in Japan.
the last chapter of this section explored the experiences of expatriate faculty at one international university in Kazakhstan, particularly under the influence of COVID-19. Results reveal that expatriate faculty experience similar challenges in their teaching, research, and service compared with their domestic and international faculty in the West. However, the expatriate faculty also encountered more complex and unique challenges in their work determined by the characteristics of their students, the nature of the university, and their location outside their home country. The final section highlights support, integration, and inclusion of international faculty. Similarly, 3 chapters were included. In the first chapter, Integration of Foreign-Born Faculty in U.S. Higher Education, Lee provided insights on the roles and benefits of these faculty members' integration in breaking down barriers they experience on campuses. The role of faculty integration with faculty growth, job satisfaction, retention, and campus globalizations are also discussed. These chapters served as a resource for higher education professional associations and institutional administrators to better recruit and support foreign talents. The authors of the next chapter, Supporting International Faculty in Adaptation to New Academic Environments, focused on the challenges international faculty members encounter as they transition to a new academic culture. They indicated that international faculty share similar issues with other professional migrants. However, they need to adapt to a new classroom setting, which was discovered as a unique challenge. They also argued that although resources and support are available from university, such as international scholar service centers, little advice has been offered for adapting to a new academic environment. Finally, this section is closed with the chapter Issues, Concerns, and Strategies for Success of Foreign-Born Faculty. The authors examine the professional issues and concerns of foreign faculty members, the impact on their personal and professional lives, and the strategies for successful outcomes. Their study provides a deeper understanding of the challenges that foreign-born faculty often encounter. Meanwhile, recommendations are provided to promote personal wellness and to advocate for supportive and inclusive university policies for these faculty members. As seen in this volume, contributors have documented international faculty stories and experiences and their outstanding contributions at institutions in Asia, Europe, and the US. Although there are challenges and limited resources for these faculty, they are at the forefront of the academic preparation of the workforce of the 21st century market. As editors of this book, we strongly believe that higher education institutions should work on increasing the programs and initiatives that attract international faculty and their peers to collaborate. Institutions should also develop resources and programs that benefit both international faculty and students related to professional development and career opportunities. Because of the rapid pressure for globalization, faculty and scholars are constantly mobile. As indicated, a foreign-born status has become a valuable credential, particularly as higher education becomes an increasing global enterprise. We hope you enjoy our book introduction. If you are interested in reading this book, please scan the QR code to get it. Thank you, and please feel free to contact any of us with questions.